Hello, my name is Sterling Record. I am a TikTok creative strategist or a creative strategist in general, to be fair, across social media platforms. And I am so sorry that I could not be here live, but I had to make sure I recorded something to provide some value to each and every one of you to help you on your journey of marketing, content creation, business, sharing faith, whatever means you choose to use these vehicles for. There is so much opportunity there. Now, I personally specialize currently in TikTok. I'm expanding out, but the majority of my work has been in TikTok, from starting with my own personal TikTok page, which was all about basically the Christian faith, and putting it in relatable, humorous ways for kind of young people mainly, amassing like videos with millions of views and hundreds of thousands of followers later. I started to realize that a lot of people were interested in this skill that I had seemed to fall upon, which is, how do I get my videos to get views? How do I get my content to be seen? How do I get eyes on whatever I am doing? As Christians, we have a few different things we might be pushing to people. We're pushing in terms of the gospel, God, everything He's doing, but also on the flip side, you may be a business person. You may be trying to market a product. You may be trying to market your service, which is both very, very important. And how can you use platforms like TikTok, Instagram, etc., to do these things and for the glory of God in that way? And so I started to get a lot of inquiries about these things, and so I've been able to work with some amazing brands. As a result, one of my favorite jobs I got to work for was, if you're here in the UK, you may know a brand called Tortilla, which is like a burrito brand, and I was their TikTok manager for 2 months. I was creating all their content, creating all their social plans, and got them hundreds of thousands of views and into the millions as well, using some of the things I'll share with you today. But before going any further, some people still don't understand why TikTok is important. And as the newest social media platform, it's grown extremely fast to a point where it's amassing more views than YouTube. That's one thing. But I want to share a really important point with you, as to why I believe, and many others believe, that TikTok is essential in the way that marketing and video in general is going, or social media platforms especially. And the main reason I believe that is because the algorithm is completely different. Every social media platform we've had before has been, to a degree, revolving around who you know, who you follow. Let's say Twitter, for example. The retweets and likes that you see come from the people who you follow. Instagram, the content you see on your feed is the content of the people you follow. Facebook, you could only see really your friends' posts. We've had a history when it comes to social media platforms of it being revolving around who you know or who you are connected with. As a result of that, when you make a piece of content, it is shown to the people you know or the people you are connected with. And that means it has a much smaller bubble that it can be presented to. Now, TikTok comes in the game and completely flips the script. They say, we're not gonna show your content to who you know. We are going to base our entire algorithm off the idea that it doesn't matter who you know. It only matters if your content is good. Now, I'll explain a little bit about what good looks like, but it only matters if your content is good. Therefore, if the platform deems your content to be good, your video doesn't just go to who you know, it goes to who you don't know. And as a result of that, there are people who post on TikTok and post the exact same video on Instagram. And this happened to me several times as well. You post a video on Instagram, it gets 10,000 views. You post the exact same video on TikTok, it gets 100,000 views. Why? Because it has immediate access to wider demographics. It has immediate access to a wider audience. And as a result of that, it has more exposure. And as a result of that, it gets more views. And as a result of that, it gets more likes. As a result of that, it gets more comments. As a result of that, you can get more followers. As a result of that, you can sell more products. You can get more engagement. You can lead more people to the faith. You can do so many interesting things as a result of the way this algorithm is set up. That is, for me, the biggest reason why TikTok is important. So if you were not sold before on why TikTok is important, I hope so far you've been sold now on why it is and why you should be a part of it. First of all, well, not first of all, but I want to say also apologies for this vanilla video. Hopefully you are taking notes on what I'm saying, because I had to record this video for you and therefore you can't see my presentation. But hopefully, I forgot to say it at the start, but hopefully you're writing notes and things on what I'm saying. I'm about to get into things that are slightly more technical. So please make sure you're taking some notes as well, especially if you want to make better content. So now we've talked about why TikTok. Now let's talk about how. Now I can't tell you everything in this video as to how TikTok videos work, but I can tell you when it comes to short form content, TikToks, Instagram Reels, etc., the first 3 seconds of your video is extremely important. The first 3 seconds is what they call the thumb stop. So imagine this, and let me take my phone. Imagine I'm scrolling. I'm scrolling. This is what people are constantly doing every day, mindlessly scrolling. I see your video. Does my thumb stop? Do I pause on it? That is why they call it a thumb stop, because essentially people are scrolling with their thumb. And if your video's first 3 seconds are engaging enough, you've stopped them from scrolling. You've paused them. You've stopped their thumb. And a metric which is known as a thumb stop ratio is a very important metric when it comes to TikTok in general, short form content in general, advertising in general, because it determines how many people are actually stopping to pay more attention into what you're offering them. And TikTok really, really values this. Okay, I'm going to focus on TikTok right now because that's probably my strongest point as it stands, or the area I'm most experienced in. But TikTok really values this. TikTok really values a thumb stop ratio. And I'm going to tell you what a thumb stop ratio does. Okay, if you have a good thumb stop ratio, a good thumb stop, it means that you know who your audience are. Because when you look at your demographics, when you look at your statistics, if your video's got a lot of views, it generally means you've got a good thumb stop, or there was something good that grabbed people at the start. When you look at your demographics, you look at your analytics, you're going to see the age groups, you're going to see what countries they're from, you're going to see, what time of day, and all these different metrics. So it means you know who your audience are. You know what country they live in. You know what country they live in. You know what gender they are. You know what age they are. And you've connected with those groups of people with this video. That's very important, because if you're trying to sell a product, a service, or something of that nature, there's certain age groups that might be more appealing to your product. Let's say you put out a video, it gets 100,000 views, but you realize that all the views are coming from 18 to 21-year-olds, but your target audience in terms of who should be buying this product is 30 to 35, then you know that you've hit a demographic here, but it's not the right one in terms of where we're going. It might be difficult to get these people to buy, even though they viewed. It might be difficult to get them to buy. So how can we change things to get these views again, but to target at a slightly older audience? Maybe you change the wording, etc. So it's an important metric to know who your audience is and who is viewing you. Or maybe in total you change your audience from the 30 to 35 and you change it down to the 18 to 21 because you realize that's the audience that's interested in you. Second thing it does is it shows a potential client a problem that you can solve. Often at the start of a video, you'll see things like, I don't know if you've ever seen one of those videos where, let's say, someone has a really dirty car, and someone picks up one of these cleaners, like spraying water, and you see the dirt there and they spray it and you see how clean it becomes in the first few seconds of the video. So immediately you've seen a dirty car, someone spray something, and a problem's been solved by seeing how clean it becomes. Many times I've seen people who are let's say someone's just been healed and they were in a wheelchair. You'll see the intro of the video be them getting out the wheelchair and running in the first few seconds. Why is that? Because in that short space of time, you've shown them there was a problem, wheelchair, they're out the wheelchair, they're moving. Or they might have text on the screen that says, this person just got out their wheelchair, or this person just walked for the first time in 20 years. Why do they do those things? It's because in the first 3 seconds, they're trying to grab you. They're trying to grab a specific audience. They're trying to target a specific group of people that would be interested in this piece of content and hook you in to let you know what this video is going to be about and what potential problem is going to be solved. And the third thing is what aesthetics resonate with this potential client or this potential viewer, this potential follower. And what I mean by aesthetics is, a good example is church, for example. Church is a great example because when you walk into a church for the first time, you'll notice certain things and you may like them or dislike them. For example, if it is an old church, like sort of old traditional church building, some people feel like that is the best thing. Other people prefer the more modern, newer, big screens and lights and this and that. So when you first walk into the building, the aesthetics can have an effect on what you believe or how you deem the place to be afterwards, or whether you believe it's right for you. And the exact same is true in video. You know, some people want to hear the gospel from somebody who's Hispanic. Some people want to hear the gospel from somebody from somewhere in Asia. Some people want to hear the gospel from somebody who's somewhere in the Caribbean. And if they hear a certain accent or see a certain skin color or see a certain look, they are more likely to actually watch that video. And that's just humanity. That's just real. And some people want to see people with more tattoos or less tattoos, or a hat or no hat, or old school dressing or new school dressing, and it plays to our preferences. But when you do that well, it allows you to know what your audience also want to see aesthetically. You know, let's say, for example, you are somebody who's trying to promote a car cleaning service, let's say, for example, and you're always cleaning BMWs, and then one day you decide to promote your service by cleaning a Ferrari, and when you clean the Ferrari, you get 1 million more views than you did on the BMWs. Then I hope you realize that the next time you should probably clean another Ferrari. You know, you should probably continue along that line. And maybe the Ferrari owners, maybe those are the guys that are interested in you, or maybe the Ferrari is the route to take to get more clients because it's getting you more views. So just to go over those 3, the things it will give you is it tells you who's watching, it shows the viewer potential problem that can be solved. And it means the problem connects with the viewer because you're getting views. And aesthetically, it means resonates with them as well. Again, sorry, this is just a video. Hope you're taking good notes. I know I've been going for a little while, but I'm almost done. And now I'm going to explain how you make a good thumb-stop ratio. There's 3 key things that are involved in the majority of good thumb-stop ratios. Of course, there is some outliers to the rule, but here are 3 things. Number 1, a human connection. People love people. Okay, if you can find a way at the start of your video to show some emotion, to show a face, to connect with an audience with a feeling, that's a great thing. That is a powerful thing. And I would recommend you do that. And it only has to be maybe a second. Bear in mind, the thumb stop is 3 seconds. But create some human connection with someone by showing a face, showing someone expressing emotion, or doing something of that nature. Number 2, a bold problem statement. So something that needs to be fixed, but it's very bold. Like the example I gave of this person has not walked in 25 years. That is a bold statement. Extremely bold statement. I can get you car insurance for half the price. That is a bold, bold statement. I can show you how to become a property investor in 5 minutes. That is a bold statement. I don't even know if that's true. I just made that up on the spot. But that is an extremely bold statement. A bold problem statement, okay? So that means you've immediately connected with your audience. You know, if I'm trying to become a property investor and somebody says, I can show you how to be a property investor, or I can start you off on your property journey in these next 5 minutes. And I'm sitting there like, I want to be a property investor. Maybe I should listen to what this person has to say. So first thing, human connection. Second thing, a bold problem statement. And that one is very, very important. It can often be done in text on screen, but it's amazing when it's spoken as well. And the third thing, a shocking or satisfying hook that builds into the product or service or thing that you're providing. You know, I've been seeing a lot of people doing this without realizing when it comes to the passing of Queen Elizabeth, and they've been relating it to the gospel, and I think they're just doing it subconsciously. I don't know if they realize what they're doing. But you know, I was in Stratford the other day, Westfield shopping centre. I was walking past, and there was someone preaching, and he said, London is so busy today. He said something along these lines. He said, London is so busy today. The queues are 24 hours long for people mourning for the Queen. Or for people paying their respects to the Queen. But have you paid your respects to the King? And I could see people around him like, stop, like, what are you talking about? You know, it was a bold statement, and it was a bold statement. Obviously, the Queen passing is something that's quite emotional, creates human connection. Bold statement, and he led that right into his product, which is the gospel. You know, when he said, have you given your respects to the King? He's leading that right into the gospel. And so I saw him subconsciously using all three of these points that create a good thumbs up ratio without even knowing. And you may be doing the same thing. And I think that's the best thing I could give you in this time to ensure that you can really make some headway on TikTok or Instagram Reels or just videos in general. I think these points will help you in video in general. If you're still not convinced about short form content, listen. The fact that it's past YouTube in terms of views, the fact that TikTok is becoming as much of a search engine as Google in itself, because people are searching on TikTok and actually finding answers. Listen, TikTok is doing a great thing. And the world is getting more used to shorter content. So you should really get involved in that. I want to give you the thumbs up ratio points again. What a thumbs up ratio will do for you. Thumbs up ratio will tell you about who is viewing. It will give the client a potential problem that you solve, and also it gives you the aesthetics that resonate with that audience as well. And the three things that you need to be able to make this happen well. Element number one, you need a human connection. Show some emotion, show a face, human connection. Number two, a bold problem statement. Number three, a shocking or satisfying hook leading right into your product, service, whatever you're offering. Or whatever the rest of the video is offering, or whatever it's about. I have been going for 19 minutes and I only have 20 minutes. And I feel like I barely got to share anything with you. I only went into one real point, which is a thumbs up ratio. But it's the most important thing I thought I could give you. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of this amazing conference. I just appreciate having the opportunity to be here. So thank you so much to the team. Thank you so much to everyone. Thank you so much for the invite. Again, I'm so sorry I couldn't be here in person, but I had to make sure I gave something that I hoped could provide some value to you. So if you want to connect with me, hopefully they share my socials so that you can do that. And I appreciate every single one of you for watching this. I appreciate the team for allowing me to be here. And I hope you have an amazing rest of conference. And we are stronger together. That was really corny. But yes, thank you very much, and speak to you soon, I hope.